have to pay, for every belt that you win, there's a sanctioning fee. So now if a fighter wins an interim belt, he has to pay a sanctioning fee. If a fighter has just the regular belt, he has to pay a sanctioning fee. Then if a fighter is a super champion, then he has to pay a sanctioning fee. This is not good for the sport of boxing.
Well, you better slap your fucking self and paying your ass shit. Fuck you talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any of the other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them.
I always say I never understand why we become champion had to pay for a belt.
Floyd Mayweather has officially erupted. He launched a blistering attack on the WBC and the broader boxing sanctioning system, and the timing made it even more shocking. Only days after pound-for-pound standout Terence Crawford stunned fans by stepping away from the sport, Mayweather grabbed the spotlight and delivered one of his harshest critiques yet. This wasn't just fight talk, it was a full-scale teardown of how boxing really operates.
A championship belt now. Now boxing, all these belts is like trophies. The WBC, the WBA, the IBF and the WBO, y'all gotta clean this shit up. Y'all have to clean this up. This is bad for boxing. Ain't there such thing as no super champion. You guys are just taking extra money from all these fighters, getting extra money from sanctioning fees. And this goes to my company as well. We gotta clean this sport of boxing up. This don't look good. When you look on TV now, everybody's a champion. You see all these fighters.
He didn't single out just one organization. He went after the WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBO alike, accusing the entire sanctioning system of turning championships into a profit machine. According to him, boxing is flooded with titles, overcrowded with champions, and weighed down by endless fees, all while fighters put their health on the line and others cash in. As he spoke, it felt like years of pent-up anger spilling out, echoing what many around the sport have felt for a long time. "Enough is enough," he said, pointing out that every title win comes with another payment. To him, that isn't passion for boxing, it's pure business. And he wasn't finished. Not wrong.
The sport of boxing, now when a fighter fights, every fighter is a champion. Now after you see no belts is now it's like a fighter winning an amateur trophy. Everybody's a champion. Everybody got to have a belt.
Crawford was stripped of his WBC belt and chose to exit the sport at the peak of his powers. The very system Mayweather once ruled appeared to be turning on itself. This moment went far beyond one fighter's decision. It became a spotlight on boxing's structure, the politics, the influence, and the money driving it all. What Floyd said out loud that day was what many fighters have quietly complained about for years. At Gervonta Davis's open workout in Las Vegas, surrounded by cameras and reporters, Mayweather stepped forward and delivered one of the most unfiltered statements of his career. He didn't mince words. He pointed directly at boxing itself, arguing that the sport is overloaded with titles and champions, and that every championship comes with a financial price tag for the fighter who earns it. This wasn't just criticism, it felt personal, almost like an admission from someone who had lived through it all. In Mayweather talks, people pay attention. And this time, the message was loud enough that even the WBC was forced to answer.
Well, Floyd has, of course, the right to think and to express whatever he believes and contest what he says. Floyd Mayweather is a dear champion, dear friend, iconic member of the boxing community. I'm not dispute and not get into any situation. If he believes that is the case, he's entitled to his opinion.
President Mauricio Suleiman, the son of the late and respected Jose Suleiman, responded carefully when questioned about Mayweather's comments. He acknowledged Floyd's right to speak his mind, referring to him as a legendary champion and a longtime friend, and made it clear the organization wouldn't challenge his viewpoint. The statement was calm and diplomatic, perhaps overly so, because while Suleiman maintained his composure in front of the cameras, much of the fan base wasn't convinced. To many watching, it felt less like reassurance and more like an attempt to contain the fallout.
Moves up to super middle and makes the fight of the century, beats Canelo, makes $50 million or around that, the WBC absolutely is not going to charge 3% of such an amount. We made a very clear 0.6%, which is $300,000.
It felt like yet another carefully crafted public relations response from an organization that had just taken a world title away from one of the sport's elite. Suleiman reiterated that Mayweather was free to hold his own views, but fans heard something else beneath the words. The WBC, in their eyes, had no intention of changing course. And given the timing, Mayweather's outburst landing immediately after Crawford's retirement and the WBC's disputed ruling, it was hard for anyone to believe it was merely a coincidence.
I'm not gonna work 14, 15 years for me to pay for something I worked for. When I went to the Olympics, did I pay for that damn medal? No. If I walk into this arena without this belt, is these people still gonna show up? Yes. So keep the
Mayweather wasn't talking as a promoter or a retired star looking back. He was voicing the frustration of fighters like Crawford. Athletes who chose not to submit to a system that prioritizes sanctioning fees over the people in the ring. And if the WBC believed Floyd's words would blow over, they misjudged the moment. Crawford's next decision only amplified the point Mayweather was making. The same man who once navigated boxing's political landscape better than anyone was now openly challenging it. He argued that championships had lost their meaning, that nearly everyone carries a title now, and that belts are treated more like souvenirs than symbols of greatness. In his view, the expansion of titles isn't about honoring fighters, it's about generating more revenue.
And a WBO champion, but I can't knock what he has done, because I have to take my hat off to him, you know, for what he has done.
Didn't point fingers directly, but no one needed clarification. The message clearly applied to the IBF, the WBA, the WBO, and most of all, the WBC. This was the same organization that had recently stripped Terence Crawford of his title after he declined to pay additional sanctioning fees, a decision that sparked immediate backlash from fans. What Floyd was really highlighting was the financial reality fighters face. Competing for a championship typically means giving up around 3% of a fighter's purse in fees. Stack multiple titles together, and in an undisputed bout, that number can climb to roughly 12%. On paper, that may not seem massive until you're someone like Crawford, stepping away from a potential $50 million fight. Suddenly, hundreds of thousands of dollars disappear just to retain belts already won inside the ring. As Mayweather put it, fighters are the ones creating the matchups, but the belts are what generate the revenue, and that imbalance is the heart of the issue. By the time he finished speaking, it was clear to everyone watching. The conversation had changed, and boxing's power structure was officially under fire.
With $225,000 going to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which is to help former fighters in need. And it is just regrettable. Not even a thank you or I'm sorry, taking a different route. No response. I wish him the best. But this is not. The WBC is huge, it's great, it's about greatness, and I'm relieved, to tell you the truth.
Terence "Bud" Crawford shared his retirement announcement. It didn't come across as dramatic or uncertain, it felt decisive. His delivery was steady, his message intentional, sounding like someone who had already accepted the next phase of his life. He spoke about giving everything to boxing, the sacrifices, the damage, the victories, and made it clear he was at peace with stepping away. This wasn't a farewell rooted in loss. It was about release. Crawford had climbed the mountain, defeating elite competition, moving through weight classes, and doing it all on his own terms. But when the WBC removed his title after he declined to pay additional fees, it seemed to push him past his limit. He didn't leave as a broken fighter. He left unbeaten, undisputed, and uncompromised. The belt wasn't taken from him inside the ropes. It was removed through paperwork. And for many fans, that detail spoke louder than anything else about where boxing currently stands. In that moment, Mayweather's public criticism and Crawford's quiet exit felt deeply connected. One legend used his platform to challenge the system, while another fighter used his absence and his legacy to underline the same truth. Together, those moments made the message impossible to ignore.
Fighters. But I felt proud of Terence Crawford as a boxing fan. How many fighters have walked away on top like this? How many?
ESPN analyst Max Kellerman, long respected for his insight into the sport, responded to Crawford's retirement with unmistakable respect. Speaking as a fan of boxing, Kellerman said the decision made him feel proud, noting how uncommon it is for fighters to step away while still performing at an elite level. He emphasized that most champions don't get that ending, they leave worn down. Diminished or long past their prime, Kellerman referenced legends like Rocky Marciano, Andre Ward, and Lennox Lewis to highlight just how rare that kind of exit truly is. Even among those names, he suggested Crawford's departure stood apart. Walking away undefeated, healthy, and on his own terms is something almost no fighter ever manages to do.
Lewis walked away on top. Joe Calzaghe walked away on top. I don't know that anyone has done it quite like Terence Crawford, because Lennox Lewis, Andre Ward walked away on top after beating Kovalev. Maybe Andre came closest to doing what Crawford just did.
His biggest victory. He's the top pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and he chose to walk away. Kellerman's words resonated because they highlighted just how rare Crawford's decision truly was. He wasn't fleeing defeat or injury. He left at the absolute peak of his career, undefeated and untouchable, and perhaps that's the warning Mayweather was trying to send all along. The boxing system has become so flawed and profit-driven that even the sport's best would rather step aside than play by its rules. Floyd's comments weren't just criticism, they were part confession, part challenge, and part cautionary tale, all delivered at once.
Any company, I don't care if it's Top Rank, if it's Golden Boy, if it's Mayweather Promotions, if it's PBC, there's too many champions in the sport of boxing right now.
Mayweather wasn't just criticizing promoters or sanctioning bodies. He turned the lens on himself. This applies to every organization, Top Rank, Golden Boy, PBC, even Mayweather Promotions. He said, his voice steady but introspective. We all share responsibility. Too many belts, too many fees. It's not good for the sport. Those words landed differently because they weren't coming from an outsider. They came from the heart of the system he once ruled. It was a rare glimpse of humility from a man known for being in complete control.
Super champion, not at all. And I'm not taking nothing away from no fighter. It's too many belts. And the reason why is let me tell people what's going on in the sport of boxing, why there's so many different titles and so many different belts.
There's no such thing as a super champion, not really, Mayweather said, clarifying that he wasn't diminishing any fighter. There are just too many belts. Then he paused and explained why the sport has so many titles, revealing a side of boxing that most fans never see. Even Mayweather, the business genius who earned more money than anyone in boxing history, admitted that he had played a part in building the system he now criticized. For years, he navigated the belts, manipulated rankings, and profited from rules that many didn't fully understand. But now, he seemed to recognize the harm it caused to the sport itself, when every bout has a different title on the line in each division has multiple champions. It becomes nearly impossible to know who is truly the best. His comments carried extra weight because just weeks before, Terence Crawford had been punished for refusing to pay into that same system. The WBC stripped him of his belt, citing protocol, but fans saw it as greed. When Mayweather said, "It's not good for the sport," the connection was obvious. Crawford didn't lose inside the ring, he lost on paper, and that reality perfectly illustrated the problem Floyd was exposing.